Hey guys, so if you didn't know, today is that I'm recording is Thursday, June 25th, 2026. I don't know how you would know that unless you stay up to date, but even then, if you watched it in the future. But anyways, I gotta say, well, before I say that, unscripted, just going off. I released my all-in-one earlier today around 5 o'clock. And I got a suggestion to make a clamming bot, as you can see right here, clamming bot. That was at about 7 o'clock, about 7 hours ago, I believe. Didn't get home till 9 o'clock, and then I got straight to work. So it took me from 9 o'clock to now, almost 2:30. So 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 5 hours of pretty solid working and testing, and the testing's the longest part, making sure everything works and then fixing little bugs in the code, making sure they're all good. My cat's trying to walk on the keyboard. It's her favorite thing to do. Get over here, Salem. Little Salem. Okay, so I wanted to demonstrate my clamming bot. It's not perfect, but again, this is the first day of putting any work into it. She really wants to get on the keyboard, so I'm gonna have to lift my laptop up so she doesn't walk on it. Okay, let's open the game, and you have to be near the starting NPC. I'm gonna have to turn in my bucket first before we get this rolling. Hopefully she sits down and so she doesn't step on the laptop keyboard. So we turn that in. Now I'm going to launch the program. Sorry if that got louder. I was probably yelling in y'all's ear. I had it right up to my face. Salo, don't walk on the keyboard. Not right now. Don't walk on the keyboard. So let's get this loaded, and I will tell you guys a little bit about this clamming tool. She can go all day without wanting to step on the keyboard, and then when something's where I'm, you know, giving all my attention, that's when she wants to really get on it. So it looks like we're loaded up, probably loaded in the background, or it'll be here any second. There it is. So I'm gonna have to talk to Salem while we're doing this so she doesn't step on the keyboard. Go here, click our process. I always pin it so when I go to 11 it stays on top. We drag it over here, go to 11, and work on the control right here. Get it so you guys can see the NPC. Salem, please stop, bro. So we're not targeting anything. We're going to open up the clamming window. I'm going to pull this over here and kind of explain it a little bit. We got our bucket weight, which is going to keep track of how much we got in the bucket. We got our inventory, which isn't showing, but once we start, it will. All of these positions, start NPC, clam spot, vendor NPC, those will already be in there, so you don't have to worry about getting the position. And I'll probably take the get position button out of the release version. A few things I have to change, but you might not have to, but you'll probably want to anyways. Change that from 50 to 30. Let me check my inventory. I have 64 slots, so just so this test doesn't take forever, I'm going to change it to 67 so we can see it a couple times. This delay, I normally set it for 12, and just for the demonstration, I'm going to turn on this show raw chat in log. Then Salem, don't step on the keyboard, please, girl. Salem's a cat. She's 2 years old. She's a little black cat. She's really good. She just gets stuck on the keyboard sometimes. So just bear with me. Okay, go to clamming. This clamming items and weights tabs. You can clamming items and weights. You can change the weight if that ever gets changed. You just go in there and instead of 3, you put 5 or 6 or whatever. We're gonna leave it at 3. Auto sell. You just click everything you want to auto sell. We're just gonna click a few things. Get them on there. Pebble, jackknife. Let's go. I mean, you can click everything, but not everything can sell. Some of the goblin, like the goblin armor or goblin mail, can't sell that stuff. Broken fishing, willow fishing rod, I don't think you can sell that. But got a few things checked. Just for me, the important thing is I'm going to set this to 30 and I'm going to set this to 12. These are the texts that execute, which do the menu navigation. The actual navigation it uses a nav mesh, so it sees these point of interest and it plots nodes or waypoints and walks straight to where it needs to go. I mean, it's really not straight because it's making nodes, so it's hitting waypoints, but it gets you there. If it was straight, you would run into these bolts over here. But without further ado, so we can get the show on the road, start clamming. It targets, just targeted the NPC, waits a little bit, enter. The debug says what the NPC is saying. So it targeted, enter, up, enter, and then plotted 3 waypoints, and now we're running to the dig spot, clam spot. Now I'm holding Salem so she can't get on the keyboard. Run to the clamming spot, it waits a couple seconds to settle, targets the clam spot, then it goes through all the menus, and we found the slug. And then it's doing the delay between dig script, 12 seconds. Then it goes through the menus, and our bucket weight is at 15 because we just got a pebble. And now our inventory is populated, 64 out of 80, and our inventory threshold is 67. So once we clam enough stuff to get 67 inventory slots, which I don't have the auto stacking feature turned on, so when I get new things, it fills up more inventory quicker. Got a jackknife. Another note, this does not have the ability to get the bigger buckets or the bigger buckets. I just haven't added that yet. I mean, this is 5 hours of work. This is what I've got so far. So now we filled up our bucket. We run back to this NPC, target it, target her, enter, enter, up, enter, enter, and we got all that stuff. Now we did hit the threshold. We hit 67. So now we plot the nodes, come over to this NPC, and you're gonna need an add-on for Windower. I have Sell NPC set up. For Ashita, I'll have to set something else up, but Sell NPC gets, it does the command to sell, then it opens the menu, the whatever you have in the queue, in the KO queue, it sells whenever you talk to the NPC. Then you're gonna plot some nodes, misses the boat barely, but misses the boat with the nodes, runs over to the get kit NPC or the start NPC and target, enter, up, enter, up, blah blah. you get you get the idea. And this just keeps on going. So I could go do something in a different room, or I could go to sleep, or whatever. Which, if you're using this on a certain private server, I would not recommend leaving your computer while you run this at all, under any circumstances. So this is more just a proof of concept. Someone suggested it. I thought it was a good idea. I've thought about it before. I've just never put in the work. I didn't even know if it was possible. Sorry about that. I didn't even know if it was possible on my local server, but looks like everything's working fine. So I'm going to let this run for a little bit, and we're going to just watch it, see how it goes. I'll pull this up a little bit. Up to 27. We're just going to 30. Maybe tomorrow or whenever I get some time, I will get in the bigger buckets, which will probably be a checkbox. Do you want a bigger bucket? And then have a checkbox beside it. Then if you do, it's going to run to the NPC and play a different script that'll get you the bigger bucket, which I'll have to do the math or whatever to try to get the closest to 45 or whatever the upgrade weight is. So we didn't hit the threshold of 27. Now it's going through the get kit.txt to get another kit. And we got our kit, so now we're running back to the clam spot, and we'll definitely hit the threshold on this one. Well, maybe not. Our inventory is only 60 out of 80. We must have sold a lot of stuff. So we should hit that threshold now, and we'll probably run to the NPC, try to sell all this stuff. Then that's probably where I'm going to end the video. Good little demonstration, a little longer than I would have liked, but you guys got to see it working. And it'll just keep doing this until you tell it to stop. So the next time I get a couple hours to put into this, we'll get the larger buckets, and it already has the code. If your bucket breaks, it runs back to the NPC and turns that in and gets a new bucket. So shouldn't be much work to add larger buckets. Should be pretty simple. I just got to get to sleep tonight. It is 2:30, 2:45 now. So that's my quick, not so quick demonstration of my clamming